Okay, here we have a nice Ski-Doo 900. And what we have is this extra thing made here to have everything he needs. You want to tell us how you made this?
Alright, well, I wish the only thing that I did different, I wish I would have done different. Instead of using a 1/4 inch plate, I wish I would have used an 1/8 inch plate. Because it's a little on the heavy side, but still not too bad. Doesn't even squat the snowmobile. But I used 16 gauge 1x1 box tubing. Obviously this is 40 inches. My tunnel itself was 37.5, and then my my quick link system, I drilled a hole so that I made little brackets. These will go through the plate in the hole there, down through, and then these go. Oh, obviously I gotta slide it back a little bit, but they will go down through, and then they'll go in here, and then that'll make it so it doesn't slide forward or backwards or whatnot. I gotta get the right size bolts.
Okay.
Pick those up today. This is all just expanded metal, the flat style. I just turned my welder down real low, and I just obviously tacked it every now and then, make sure it laid flat.
Okay, and what are these for here?
This is for my ice auger. I made it so it bolts on so I can take it off. I had to make it because my ice auger is it's a Jiffy Stealth, and it's a 9 inch, so I had to go at least 4.5 inches where it was up and forward, so it wouldn't touch anything here. And then I made this so that we can unbolt it, so that I can have I think for my chainsaw later on I'm gonna make, where it just slides in. I'm gonna have a pin that goes through my bar that'll stop it from sliding in and out. And then I can have all my oils, my bar and chain and my gas all in here. So it's going to be a multi-use sled thing, but
Oh, for ice fishing and then for clearing the tracks.
the trails and all that.
The trails. Right.
I bought this with an idea that here's the room for my pack basket, my bait bucket, and then my
Ice auger.
My ice auger. I got the new Frable Magnum bait station. I had it outside with water in it for 2 nights, and it got down to 12 degrees. All the nights, and there was no ice or anything formed on the inside, so I was highly impressed with that. And actually I went and felt the water the first night, and it was just as warm as when I put it in, pretty much. It was maybe 1 or 2 degrees difference. The second night it was a little bit cooler, but it was still no ice, nothing. And the second night it was 18 degrees it got down to. So It was still pretty decent. I'm waiting to see what it does when it gets down below that, like, zeros and whatnot.
Yeah, and under.
But
yeah.
so far it's pretty good. It's got built-in aerator on the top, which is nice instead of having a bucket which is just hanging on the side and then it falls off, or you go to put the lid on, you crush your thing. I'll show you on the inside that the air pipe goes through, so that there's no chance of you actually crushing your airline. It has a little basket. I bought the 19-quart one, which is perfect for what I do. I do a lot of togue fishing, which is lake trout. So I need suckers and whatnot. So it's good for having a good amount of those in here. If you're going to go on a longer trip, not just a day or 2 trip, you probably have to get the bigger one.
Yeah.
Because you'd want more suckers. This one I'm gonna put in maybe 2 dozen 6-inch suckers, so it'll still be fine.
Good. So you made this here before you even got that.
Well, no, I had looked up the measurements online.
Oh, okay.
And this is actually a little bit smaller than the measurements actually are, because it's counting for the lids.
Oh,
the edges.
yeah.
So the bottom is less, but the edges itself are what their numbers that go off of, the higher raised edges.
Yeah.
Which everything worked out good. It fits in there perfect.
It's the exact size right here with your sled.
Yeah, I did all the measurements off this tunnel. And then I took some bed liner and I really gave it some, because the bed I polished all the expanded metal with a polishing disc for my grinder, and then it was still a little bit, you could feel edges that were a tiny bit sharp. Well, you take that bed liner and just lay it on there nice and thick, and I can run my hand up and down this. Nothing's cutting me.
Yeah, no
I
catches.
polish all the edges on each one of these so that when my nieces go to grab bait or anything like that, they don't get caught. I made these. I took my plasma cutter.
Oh.
And I cut my brackets, and I welded them here onto this piece, going at an angle. And I made this, and then I got some edge guard that goes on top of it so it doesn't scratch the paint on my auger.
All right.
I thought it out pretty
cool.
well. I had plenty of time.
Plenty of time to think it all.
I also got rubbers on the bottom of this so it doesn't scratch my tunnel. It doesn't actually wear a hole through my tunnel. I'll show you those if you want to back up, Mom.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a bunch of rubbers on the bottom so it doesn't actually come in contact with my tunnel or my lights.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That way it doesn't scrape nothing, because obviously underneath your tunnel, that you don't want to go right through your tunnel.
Yeah. And look at that, it just sits in there so nicely. And actually that helps to put it up right there.
Right, so it doesn't hurt your lights.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt the lights
It
at
leaves
all.
a little bit over a paper wet for your lights not to get hurt. Those are something special I had at work, because I work at a snow truck factory where we make the state's plow trucks.
Yeah, you're a welder by trade.
Yeah, and so we had those because from the tarp systems, but we don't ever use them, so we just throw them away. So I brought them home, and I figured I could use them for that.
Yeah, cool. Cool, and it fits. It's the same size and everything as your sled.
Yep.
Beautiful.
This is a Skidoo Expedition Sport. This is 2019. So the width here was 18 inches. Then I did 37-inch plate, 37.5-inch plate, and then I did a 40 top, so I had a little bit extra. That way I can put my bolts through and all that stuff, and that way I could have that little bit extra to get away from the bars itself.
Yeah.
For my auger. And later on, if I ever get a 10-inch auger, I still have plenty of space, so it's fine. I like the 9-inch just because it's that's what I have.
I like it because that's what I got.
Well, that's what I bought,
Alrighty.
That, and they made the 9-inch it wasn't very common.
Yeah. Okay.
But 10-inch seems to be too big a hole, and then
Yeah.
8-inch is too small.
Nice sled.
So.
Doing good.
But that's basically what it is.
All right. I like the fact that these can come off so that you can put your
my bracket for my saw.
yeah.
I
put
still
your
haven't made that
bracket
yet,
for your
though.
saw.
But
Yeah.
it's gonna go from here down, and the saw is gonna sit. It's either gonna sit like this, or I'm gonna have it on the side, on the other side like that, sitting on the side, and there's gonna be a bracket and just slide right in.
Oh
Kinda do
yeah,
that.
you can do that. Yeah. Very good.
And I can have all my stuff, and I can still have my auger too if I decided to go on a big trip. Because a lot of times I'll go up the Allagash, or I go in the woods a ways, and sometimes we've had to cut trees just to be able to get through the trails and whatnot. So
So it depends where you're going.
yeah, depends on what we're
Great.
doing, where we're going, whether we bring chainsaws or whatnot.
Yeah.
That, and I can also, because I can also put a gun rack on the side of it too if I needed to, but I'm probably not going to do that.
All right. Well, thank
Or
you for
I can
explaining everything.
I could probably even use this as a gun rack. When I put my auger here, I'll just take a bungee cord and wrap it down to here. I was going to do like a
To make
flip over system, but I'd have to make it so tall that it looked weird
Yeah.
to get over the auger piece.
Okay. Very good.
But yep.
Well, nice job. Beautiful. That's to make it convenient instead of dragging a sled, right?
Right, instead of using if I'm just going on a small trip, I don't have to bring my jet sled. Because, well, obviously I don't like bringing my trailer for my snowmobile, and I can just drive up in the back of my truck. And if I have my bait, my auger, and my traps, if I'm just going for a small day trip,
Yeah.
like bringing the nieces out, something like that, I don't need to carry my whole trailer and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Then if I go to West Grand or anything like that, obviously I'll bring my jet sled because I can put wood in the back of it and all that stuff for my shack and all that stuff.
Yeah.
In that case, I'll just do a bunch of trips anyways because you're gonna have to. Just because you're just gonna need a bulk of stuff because you're going for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And spend the night in the shack and all that stuff. So.
Yep. All right. Well, very good. All right. Hope you guys all enjoyed watching all of this and the explanation of how everything's going to fit right in there. It's a good how-to video.
Yeah. Also, I went with 16 gauge for the 1x1. It was pretty thin, so I had to turn the heat way down when you welder. And I had to go. It was like a hot tack, pretty much, going up around it. I wish I would went a little thicker, so then I could have laid a nice bead. They all came out all right, but I could have laid a better, like a solid bead through instead of on and off, turn the heat a little low.
Yeah.
But it came out real good anyways.
All right. Okay. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more of whatever we come up with.
Yeah.
All righty. Bye-bye.